Hey everybody, this is Schmo's No Intern RB3, and you are watching the Cinescape podcast. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Deep Roy on Toxic Radio. Don't play radio, listen Toxic.
Hey, this is Kel Mitchell, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Uh-oh, it's getting toxic.
Robert Englund here, a.k.a. Freddy Krueger, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Check it out or die slow.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Cinescape podcast, where we're changing the landscape of movie and TV news and reviews. I am Sean Harrigan, joined always by my great buddy Bill Tozzi. How you doing tonight, Bill?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm incredible. I'm incredible for a reason.
Incredible.
Phenomenal. It's going to be a great show. We're going to make podcasting great again.
And let me tell you why, because we are very blessed and lucky to have the guys from Living in 8 Bits. So we have Mikey.
Yo.
We have Carmen.
How are you?
And we have Joey.
Hey, guys.
So they're going to be here with us. You know, we're going to be bouncing our topics off of them. See how in tune with some of these things that are going on in the movie and TV world.
We'll disappoint right off the bat.
And then we're also going to get into what they do in terms of their productions and some of their hilarious online videos. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But we are going to jump right into our TV buzz. And we're going to go over some of the newest stories in the terms of the TV world. So let's go into the first one. Bill, let me start this off for you.
You go for it.
So we've talked a lot about the Defenders.
We have.
The upcoming Marvel Netflix Avengers-like team-up series. We know we have Iron Fist coming next in March, and then we have Defenders. So over the last week or so, we have gotten a lot of new casting news.
Yes.
We're basically going to see all of the heavy hitters from all the other Netflix series, joining together along with our heroes. So we got the inclusion of Karen Page, Misty Knight, Jerry Hogarth, Foggy Nelson, Malcolm Stick, Trish Walker, Elektra, and Claire Temple. And then we haven't seen this person yet, but Colleen Wing, who will also be on the Iron Fist series, is also set to join. Bill, what do you think about this news?
I'm overwhelmed, to be honest.
That's a lot of news.
It's
a lot of people.
I mean, we were sitting here, just several weeks ago, just talking about how, Punisher's coming along and all the cast additions to that show. We were just wrapping up with Iron Fist probably about 4 weeks ago, and there's no slowing down for the Netflix series with Defenders coming up. Obviously, they're throwing everything at the wall at this point. So for me, I kind of need to sit back and really wait to see what's going to happen, because there's a lot going on, and I don't want to read too much into anything just yet, because Netflix and Marvel always has us on our toes. And you can't really guess what they're going to do next.
Right, absolutely. Guys, I'll open it up to you. Have you guys watched any of the Marvel Netflix series? I know we just had Luke Cage was our last one.
Yeah, I've watched Daredevil season 1 and 2. I watched Jessica Jones, and I just finished Luke Cage. So I've been watching them. I've been enjoying them. What's to go wrong with the this Marvel Cinematic Universe? It's kind of odd because it's so much more darker and bleaker than the movies, and even though they're all supposed to take place in the same universe, but I like how they're much more smaller and intimate. Like none of them are the world is ending plots. They're all very contained in their own stories, and they've been great. They've been 3 very different series so far.
Absolutely.
But Jessica Jones was my favorite by far of the 3.
Right.
So I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm curious about Iron Fist, of course, and Defenders, and I think what would ultimately make it worth it if we can see some of these guys pop up in Infinity War or down the line, but you never know.
Yeah, that's the nerd dream, right?
That would be the wet dream.
Bill, why don't you read our next story?
All right, we got actress Maria Bello, one of my favorites, has revealed that she will appear on The Walking Dead during season 8 saying, "I am obsessed with the show. I have a friend who is a producer on it, and I've asked them to write me a part, which apparently they are for next season. Even if I just play a zombie," I said, "I'll come out just to play a zombie for an episode. I don't care, but it is my favorite show." She's always one of my favorite actresses that I feel like whenever she shows in, she always, presents a good range of characters and stuff like that. I think we were watching SVU not too long ago, and she played like some strung out junkie or whatever, and she did it well. You know what I mean? She's a good actress that flies under the radar. So I'm excited to see what she might bring to that series there. Even though I don't really watch it,
right. Yeah, I mean, when you talk about her Oscar-nominated performance from Coyote Ugly there, where, I mean, she was good in Lights Out, the horror movie from earlier this year, History of Violence.
Yeah.
She does, like you said, she does have a lot of range, and it's really cool that she's a fan of the show and is kind of, asserting herself into a role that way.
But do you think that's the point where that show's at now, where, the storylines can only take it so far, and you kind of have to insert some fan base, back into the show where it makes it, fun and relevant again? Because here we are 8 seasons later. And
we're on 7 right now.
Well, I mean, you get ready for 8.
There's so much comic material that they haven't gotten to yet that I don't think that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's, just something cool for, her herself and fans of hers to be able to see her pop up. Like she was saying, it's probably just going to be a very, very small role, not very prominent. Something that's going to take up a lot of her scheduling time. But it's neat to see fans of the show that are also actors and actresses be able to kind of get themselves wrapped up into the series.
Yeah, that's why if you don't mind me jumping.
No,
in,
absolutely.
That's why I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan brought so much to the season. Because he was like so excited I think he told this story about how like they said we want you to be in The Walking Dead. And he's like, well, I'm going to play Negan, right? And he's like, yeah, well, we'll see. And he's like, I'm going to play that for Negan. So,
you can curse if you want.
Can
curse
on
curse?
here.
Oh, cool. I'm going to play fucking Negan. I can fucking curse. I fucking love it. I can fucking curse. Excellent.
All right, you've exceeded our fucks for the show. So
now, sorry, I ruined it, guys.
Now you ruined it for everyone.
We do have a lot of child fans.
Oh, it's all right.
Hopefully my kids aren't watching at home.
Yeah.
Living in fucking 8-bits.
Oh, right.
All right.
We're gonna edit that out.
Yeah, that'll be on the uncensored version.
Yeah.
TV Line is reporting that actress Millie Bobby Brown, best known as Eleven from Stranger Things, has been cast to return during season 2 for all 9 episodes. And they also recently announced that Sean Astin, Paul Reiser, and Linnea Berthelsen will also join the cast for season 2. Bill and I, we are very huge fans of season 1. I don't know about you guys if you've checked it out.
I love Stranger Things was just awesome. And what I like about it is it was the perfect length.
Right.
Because some of these shows, like they want to go to 13 episodes, and there was only enough story really to put in the 8, but every episode was solid, and it just felt it was awesome. I love that show, and it's cool that it's going to return. I just don't know what they're going to really do with it, because part of the fun of the first season is the mystery.
Right.
And now we kind of know the mystery, so it's got to be a new mystery. I don't know. It works so well as a one-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to see Winona Ryder again, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she was great. Yeah.
She was one of my least favorite parts of that.
Oh, okay.
Really was. She just got a little too over the top for me at times. I mean, she wasn't terrible. Just there were moments where I was like, all right,
she was going a little crazy.
Can we get a new scene now?
Well, at least her character didn't get the shaft like Barb.
Right, yeah.
It's like, what happened to Barb?
I think we're going to see Barb in season 2, I think. We're definitely
going to come back as a zombie
monster. You can't not bring her up again. And there's been so much online petitioning and, skits on like Conan and things like that. Or Jimmy Fallon, where's Barb? Yeah, the fans are calling for Barb. We need to find out about Barb. What about Barb?
What about Barb? Barb!
Yeah, we need to edit that clip.
I've been impressed by the number of Halloween costumes and all that.
Yeah,
inspired by
those
it.
Yeah.
So,
all right, Bill, read our last our TV story.
This gets me just ready for
I was
this
very
season.
excited
So
about
Ted
this.
Danson and Mary Steenburgen will return to the cast of Curb Your Enthusiasm for the upcoming 8th season. I can't believe it's on 8 seasons already.
I can't believe it's finally coming back.
Yeah.
How long have we been waiting?
Probably
5
about
years?
2013 maybe.
Was it that? I just feel like it's been off the air for so long.
Yeah.
And we need more Larry in our lives.
Larry.
But yeah, that's very good news. These two aren't main characters.
Larry.
But just like their ensemble cast, they pop up from time to time. You're gonna see them in awkward situations where Larry's just saying things that he shouldn't be saying and pissing them off.
And that's the best part of the show, He's a social assassin.
He absolutely is. You guys fans of Curb at all?
I don't watch it.
You don't watch it?
As you can tell, I watch a lot of TV.
Carmen, let's hear about it.
There it is. I feel like I got my Larry David fill from him doing his Bernie Sanders impressions on Saturday Night Live.
Which was
If we could have voted for Larry David as Bernie Sanders for president, I think we would have been all right as a nation.
Yeah. It would have been.
I think it'd have been great.
It'd been the same amount of circus coverage.
We're gonna break up the big banks. Breaking them up.
All right, I think that was our last.
That was our last one
last
for
TV story. All right, we are going to flip the script here.
Flip it.
Oh, I hit the wrong button, Bill.
Oh.
Hold on, bear with me.
Hopefully it was
There
current
we go.
affairs.
Oh, I'm gonna get that one ready and queued up. Bill, why don't you read us the story? Before he does, we're gonna flip the script here and change the focus to film, news, and reviews. We're gonna talk Doctor Strange in a little bit, but Bill, let's get into some news first.
Okay. So The Flash has lost its second director. Chris Lord and Phil Miller were the first to exit, and now Rick Famuyiwa has also left the project, saying, "While it's disappointing that we couldn't come together creatively on the project, I remain grateful for the opportunity. I will continue to look for opportunities to tell stories that speak to a fresh generational, topical, and multicultural point of view. I wish Warner Brothers, DC, John Berg, Jeff Johns, and Ezra Miller all the best as they continue their journey into the Speed Force." The Flash has been plagued with
this is number
with
2.
problems. Yeah, plagued with problems. They can't get anything together. It's another blunder for Warner and DC, and it just shows they don't have their shit together.
They don't know their comics.
They don't know their comics. They don't know, they don't know their audience. They don't know who they have that would really, benefit from the passion of these projects, and that's why we have so many shortcomings. That's why they'll put a movie out, and then they gotta do an extended Blu-ray DVD release just to make up for all the stuff that they didn't show that made the movie right the first time around, you would go see a 4-hour epic Superman movie if it was done right, but it gets
I don't know if you would, though. You might fall asleep.
I might fall asleep again. I fell asleep during 2 DC movies so far.
Batman, Superman, and Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I fall asleep during every movie. Every movie.
I think the only one that I can remember falling asleep during was Public Enemies, Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
We were all drinking beforehand, though, so that factored into it. But I know I was snoring away. My cousin had to nudge me and wake me up, and then we just got up and left after that.
But any Johnny Depp movie nowadays can put you to sleep,
Yeah, well, he's
Jack Sparrow, savvy.
All right. Speaking of directors leaving superhero movies, ex-Deadpool director Tim Miller is he's now attached to a CG version of a Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Stink.
So this might be right up your alley, guys. What would you think about a Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
If they cast Jaleel White, I'm in.
Chili dogs.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know. Do we need it? I don't.
I think it's a stretch.
Yeah.
I honestly
is it the
think
Sonic
it's a stretch.
movie we need?
No. Didn't they have the cartoon Saturday mornings?
The one we
Is there
designed.
anything along
I
those
loved it.
lines?
Well, they had 2 of them. Like you were mentioning the problem with the DC and Warner universe, how they're not connected.
Right.
Their own Sonic universe, they had the one that was weekdays after school.
Yeah.
That was very cartoony, and then they had the Saturday morning one that was very serious, and they weren't connected at all. But it was the same team, the same voice cast, everything. So I don't know. If we're doing Sonic, I would rather just. I don't know.
Live action Sonic. Live
What,
action.
like a Smurf?
John
like,
Favreau
CG
directs the live
Sonic?
action
Awesome.
Though in fairness, it can be done right. There's this filmmaker who does like geeky kind of video game related movies. His name's Eddie LeBron. He did like a full length feature based on Mega Man. Yeah, and he did a Sonic the Hedgehog fan film as well. That's maybe about 15, 20 minutes long. And he actually got Jaleel White to do it.
Oh, wow.
And with the limited budget and resources he had, he made something that was really cool.
Right.
And I thought it was really entertaining. And it's like, man, this is a good direction to go in. somebody should check it out. But I have a feeling that they're gonna not ask the fans or the people who actually know the material, like you were lamenting about the comics and all that. There are so many people that can help develop this material, and they're not there. So I don't know what we're gonna get.
Yeah.
I mean, part of Sonic's incarnation to begin with was kind of the anti-Mario and let's look at market research and what are the kids into. I mean, Sonic is the most early 90s of any character, and I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I got my fill with pixels, you know.
Oh gosh.
What would the plot line be? Like just collecting rings and going after, was it Dr.
Robotnik?
Dr. Robotnik.
Well, now they call him Eggman.
Yeah,
that bothers me so much. Like kids these days,
we grew up
they
with
don't know
Robotnik.
They don't know Sonic. They don't know.
Like, is Tails going to be... Tails is going to be one of the robots that Sonic destroys, and when he releases the animal, that's where he's going to meet Tails, and then Knuckles has
like
to
Sonic Spinball kind of thing.
And then and then Knuckles is going to show up, and he has to reach the urban demographic, so they're going to make Knuckles all kinds of weird... Like, they're going to go for the market research kind of version instead of the character version, which I know there's a hint of irony there because the characters were developed for market research. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Or it could be a really deep and thought-provoking movie. You haven't got to this point yet.
Yeah, it's just going to
It could be the Oscar-winning Sonic that we need.
Sonic, the deep and thought-provoking.
I can't wait to
movie.
hear the Celine Dion Sonic.
Written by Aaron Sorkin, Sonic the Hedgehog.
The deep thought-provoking theme song, Sonic. He can really move. Sonic. He's got an attitude.
See, the way I imagine this going down is like, there's this, video game developer, and he's, on the verge of losing his job, and he goes home all frustrated after a long day, and he's, under the pressure of having to create a new video game. So he goes home, he takes some LSD to, like, help him, conjure up some thoughts. And then, basically, then he just bugs out for, 12 hours. But then the video game is what takes over the movie is then his brain thinking up this video game, which just kind of comes to life. And then, then at the end of the movie, he sobers up and he makes the video game, and then he saves his job, and then boom, that's
I like that. It's very meta. And
Right.
I think that's the direction Sonic the Hedgehog needs to go
Exactly.
if they want to be successful with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Because when you think about things from the 90s, how did they come up with that? Well,
Right.
drugs. Drugs is how they
Well,
came up
that
with
explains the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Why is
that
Sonic
is an
spinning
American
around trying to
gem.
get this Chaos Emerald?
I don't know. I'm just waiting for my Metroid movie. That's
There
like
you
the
go.
most that you can probably translate, and they won't do it.
Right. All right, Bill. We were just talking Johnny Depp.
We
couple
were.
minutes
So
ago.
this
we
is
got a Johnny
perfect.
Depp story here.
And Johnny Depp has been cast in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them sequel, playing the character. You heard it here, Grindelwald. So, what do you think about this? What do you think about this move for the Harry Potter franchise?
I am not a Harry Potter fan. I think I've seen maybe the first two movies.
Well, you got to catch up.
Other than that, it was just never one that appealed to me very much. If I can get a free screening of Fantastic Beasts, I'll go to see that.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just not up my alley.
They'll be on Freeform next week.
Ah, okay, there you
They
go.
run them marathons every weekend.
Yeah.
Just about.
Harry Potter weekend.
Yeah.
again,
Oh,
yay.
Thanksgiving weekend would probably be
It's
Harry
not
Potter
just
weekend.
Thanksgiving weekend. It's every weekend.
Oh, I'm just saying upcoming. It will definitely be.
every weekend. Harry Potter marathon. Okay.
Well, it's because those guys, the programmers have to take vacations and stuff like that. And this time of year,
Put it on
hey,
autoplay.
just set the Harry Potter sequels to full go and
Hey,
enjoy your weekend.
Hey, it's the gift that keeps giving in
It
terms
is.
of royalties and all
Oh,
that.
God,
That means
yeah.
the cash
I'm curious to see. I'm kind of at that point with Johnny Depp where it's like I either want to just see you be like in mobster type movies, or you just end your career with shitty accents and whimsical characters and stuff like that. Whimsical characters. Whimsical characters.
Whimsical.
Whimsicals. So I don't know. I feel like Johnny Depp at this point, I mean, after his divorce and stuff too, and how much he paid out to what's her name, he's gonna need Amber something, right?
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard.
Yeah. Who's playing Mara in the Aquaman movie?
Aquaman.
Yeah.
Aquaman.
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 It's Spider-Man underwater. Boom.
Waterman.
Well, I mean,
Is that a doomed to fail movie
Hydro
already?
Well, they already teased it in an email in Batman v Superman: Dawn for
Yeah.
Justice.
I mean, they had that.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jason. They had the clip that came out with the little teaser for it.
that did look cool.
That looked pretty cool.
It's not Aquaman at all, but
No, they're definitely taking some
I'm
liberties.
Flint, Michigan public water man.
I shoot the lead out of my fingertips.
Enjoy fluoride.
All right, here's something that's going to get everybody
Yeah?
excited.
No, it's not.
Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers is getting a reboot with
Wah, wah.
Baywatch. The new Baywatch film writers, Damian Shannon and Mark Swift, attached to write the script.
Wait, Baywatch?
Yeah, there's a new Baywatch movie.
yeah,
coming
with
out.
Zac Efron and Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Aren't there's the guy that
Is there
rebooted
only
Jason?
how many
Like,
reasons were there to watch Baywatch? I
One.
think one. Yeah, it was only one reason.
For the
Hasselhoff,
incredible
right?
storytelling.
And it was every episode.
the cliffhangers at the end of every episode.
But do you remember Baywatch Nights?
Yeah.
do.
You remember that when Baywatch stories during the daytime could only take you so far, then it was come over to Baywatch Nights.
It's like Baywatch, but
I liken
But
it to
at
Saved
night.
by the Bell the college years. I mean,
With Golick.
yeah,
Mike-
Bob Bob
Golick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that mullet.
but yeah, Starship Troopers. That was my first. No, that wasn't. But it was one of like the first R movies I remember seeing in the theaters.
Yeah.
I did see that one too.
And
I actually saw that.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's Doogie Howser.
Yeah, I
In a
saw it as
dirty
a double
movie.
feature actually with who's in it? It was some movie that I don't know why you would go to see, but it was Red Corner with Richard Gere.
Oh gosh, I don't even remember.
I've actually seen that.
Yeah,
so
I saw
can't-
that as a double feature. I don't think I was like 9 or 10. Or my aunt took me to see it.
Would you like to know more?
But I loved Starship Troopers as a
I
kid.
did. I love
just
Starship
I know how
Troopers.
stupid it is now as an adult, but
No, it's even better when you're adult because you can appreciate the satire.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the whole thing.
And from what I was hearing, they're not going to be doing that for the new movie. All the satirical, like political things.
well, Heinlein would just be very disappointed.
Well, that's where, that comic book kind of stood, though, with certain things. It stood to be, in this type of future where, the politics are very prevalent, where, your citizenship depended on, your service and stuff like that. It was meant to, touch on some of these values. I just think, you have the opportunity at this point where the first Starship Troopers came out in 97.
Yep.
And I'm glad that they didn't try to use CGI at the time because it would have been terrible.
Well, I mean, they did.
Well, they used a certain amount of it, but it was the right amount of it. Because if they think about other movies that were coming out in that time frame, like Episode 1 of Star Wars, where the overuse of CGI really took away from the lifelike-ness of the movie, and there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Roughnecks.
Rico's Roughnecks.
Let me get a flip 6-3 hole on too.
man, it's been a long time since I've seen
Two
that.
words. Everyone fights. No one quits.
It's afraid.
Radshacks Roughnecks.
It's afraid.
Rat sack. What kind of name is that?
Man, now looking back at it, the mother bug was really all that,
It was
that
gross,
frightening
right?
compared
that's
to the
Denise
other
Richards.
bugs.
The finest,
that's a young
the finest
Denise
James
Richards.
Bond performance of her.
And then Busey's son
Oh,
there.
Danny
I
Bond,
mean,
Yeah, Jake Busey.
God,
Jake Busey.
what an ad for teeth implants, right?
Co-ed showering. I could get behind that.
Diz, no! I got to have Jennifer.
Oh, look at that. All right.
But you know what though? Have you guys seen the original RoboCop?
Yes.
So
yes, Paul Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven also did both those movies, and you get to see a lot of similarities between the two movies. One just his appreciation for some real gory scenes.
Right.
Like some of the death scenes are probably some of the most gruesome that you could have in a 10-year span from each other, and just with that the type of futures that he kind of envisioned and such with that, it's really that and RoboCop are probably two of my favorite movies.
He did Total Recall too, right?
He did, yeah. And I mean,
Call him, get the people. Hell no!
Yeah, no, he's no. I think I could like he combines these really like think pieces with just this gratuitous violence that Americans love to watch.
But that part of satire that you talk about and those kind of like commercials and what he would envision, the humor of television in with that, that's why you get those like military videos that they show and flash in between to kind of break up that that seriousness of, hey, we're gonna go out and shoot bugs, and if that's all it was throughout the whole movie, you'd be like, all right, like you kind of be numb to it afterwards.
Right.
But you get that level of irreverent humor mixed in there. And it's kind of nice.
Well, people see this title, Starship Troopers, and they're like, "Oh, let's go see this."
But that's going to be the problem. I mean, you kind of just proved the point of what made the originals great. They already tried it with Total Recall and RoboCop, and it doesn't at all capture why people gravitated to the originals.
They're just capitalizing off the name.
Exactly. It's going to be the exact same thing with Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
No. I don't like. I'm kind of against remakes to begin with, and.
I think the big opportunity for this movie, though, is to kind of get some things right. So, some of the things that you were limited to in 97, like some of the CGI, some of the special effects, I'd like to see some more updated body armor in the sense where it's kind of like you're not just wearing these, like, flak vests that just have plastic paneling on it and stuff like that. So, it bodes some opportunities to, kind of make some things right. But I mean, we're definitely not going to see anything close to the Starship Troopers we all love at the same time.
Yeah, you can't recapture that nostalgia. No. All right, let's move on to our next story. Game of Thrones actor Karen Hines has been announced to be playing the villain of the upcoming Justice League film as Steppenwolf. At the end, in the theatrical version of BVS, we actually didn't get to see him, but we did see it in the director's cut. They showed the mother boxes after Lex Luthor was imprisoned there.
Yeah.
And the way that he looked, it was like this statuesque figure. But in the comics, he is like a humanoid figure. So, and the guy who plays him plays, if you guys are Game of Thrones fans, he plays Mance Rayder on the show. He's a creepy looking dude, just to look at. So, I'm very interested to see how he depicts Steppenwolf. I'm not very educated on him as a character from the comics, but we'll see how that goes. Bill, what do you think about this Justice League news?
I fell asleep during. I fall asleep during any. Billy. I fall asleep during any Justice League DC stuff anymore.
Yeah, it's weird having a villain that nobody's ever heard of. What do you need, a beer, Bill? Oh, I think you need me to play this one.
Go get me a beer, bitch!
Is that what you want? Yeah, that's what I want. All right, let's go on. The next one, Max Landis is set to direct a remake of An American Werewolf, a Werewolf in London, with The Walking Dead producer Robert Kirkman and David Albert set to produce. Max's father, John Landis, directed the original 1981 film. So we were just talking about remakes. I think this is one that could actually work, especially with the director's father making the original version. Mikey, what do you think?
Well, they did. I wouldn't call it a remake, but they did
Wolf
that. They did the sequel with the guy from That Thing You Do. I feel like part of the problem with remakes is you lose the charm of what made them so great. So the transformations and the werewolf stuff's all going to be CGI now. It's not going to be makeup. It's not going to be using all the different art forms and techniques to make it look so cool and creepy and scary. It's just
how many times can you do the same thing? Like, we've seen the Wolfman, we've seen this, that. Like, we know what it looks like when a guy transforms into a werewolf. So Underworld or whatever it is.
So I don't know. I'm just not interested.
Nah.
Most of these remakes, I'm just not interested at all.
All right.
So,
Bill, read the next one. This one's awful.
Well, before I move on, doesn't Max Landis sound like your neighbor's like punk kid like that just keeps like pulling out your flowers like that damn Max Landis is over here again talking to Stephanie? I'm not letting him out.
He's an urban legend around the playground.
Yeah. Fucking dick. But Paramount is moving forward with Transformers spinoff highlighting Autobot and Bumblebee.
Because we need that.
Oh, God, don't care.
This film could be ready in time for a June 2018 release with writer Christina Hodson penning the script.
As long as we get Mudflap and whatever the other robot was from the second one again, then yeah.
Can we just do a Beast Wars movie?
Beast Wars! Awesome. This is terrible. We don't need all this Transformer stuff at this point.
Let's just do a GoBots movie.
It just makes so much money, though.
They're doing Voltron, too, a live-action Voltron.
Wow.
All right, that I can get behind.
Yeah.
Because it's Voltron.
Yeah.
Where's the Thundercats movie?
Oh, they keep trying.
Yeah.
They keep trying, but it's just not happening. They rebooted the cartoon a couple years ago, too.
But Christina Hodson's also going to be writing the script for Harley Quinn Birds of Prey film starring and executive produced by Margot Robbie.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors going around that she was going to be doing a sequel for her own solo movie with her Harley Quinn character. So the way that the story is going, it sounds like they're going to be doing a Birds of Prey type scenario with like Batgirl and Poison Ivy, some of the different female heroes and villains, like a team up kind of thing. I know a lot of people, despite what they thought about Suicide Squad, did really like Margot Robbie's portrayal of Harley Quinn. What do you guys think about Harley and Margot Robbie's portrayal of her?
Yeah, I thought she was great. And I think a solo effort from her would help to make the DC movies a little more, I guess, digestible at this point.
I think it's going to be a bomb or bust. It's going to be an amazing thing, or it's going to be horrible. There's not going to be a middle ground with it.
Right.
I didn't even get to see Suicide Squad yet.
A lot didn't miss anything.
When it came out,
I missed it all.
Yeah, Bill didn't get to see it either.
when it came out, like I was so busy with work and I was saying like, oh, I want to go see Suicide Squad, and all my friends had already seen it. They're like, don't. Just wait. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I think when I had reviewed it on our website, I gave it a 4 out of 10. I just wasn't digging it. The story just wasn't very fluid, and the characters just weren't all that appealing to me.
It just seems to be DC altogether.
They're really missing the mark with their films. I mean, I loved Man of Steel. I like the director's cut of Batman vs Superman a hell of a lot more than the theatrical. But you shouldn't have to do an extended cut every time you release a movie to make it better.
They should just get it right before they do it.
I don't mind sitting in the theater for a 3-hour movie if it's really good and it makes sense and it flows well. But when you're getting a movie like BVS, it's skipping around and showing you so much stuff.
Well,
you know
what Batman vs Superman was missing? It was missing a fight in an IHOP. I mean, that's we just needed more IHOP fights.
You know what it does show though, like you put a movie of that caliber, or you expect it to be of a certain caliber like that, and then
say cobbler,
cobbler, yeah. Thanksgiving,
because we're all hungry.
Cobbler, give me another cobbler. But you have a movie come out like that, and you have so many cast members, and you probably expect to try and do a solo movie of just about every one of them, or at least most of them, and you see these actors up there, and you see how they perform and stuff like that, and you see how, what comes out of it and what the viewers take away from it. And then to only have one person that you could then really feel like you could spin, another, franchise off with, that doesn't speak well either.
Because all the other characters sucked.
Well, yeah. But I mean,
let's see a Slipknot solo movie. No. Captain Boomerang.
I will say
Captain Eternal.
I did like Deadshot. I thought Will Smith did a very good job.
Yeah, he's all right.
But he didn't even take the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would expect, with Will Smith, with Margot Robbie, with Jared Leto, you're like, geez, these guys, if they really get their shit together, we could probably make a franchise out of each
one
of them.
Or if they put Jared Leto in the movie.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
For more than 3 minutes.
You want to beef? You want to beef?
Don't worry, he'll be in the bonus clips. Just buy the Blu-ray.
The extended cut.
Yeah.
The director's
He'll get one extra
director's
scene.
cut of the extended cut.
He'll get like an extra minute. Hey, everybody, Joker's in this movie. Oh, cool. Where's the Joker?
All right. Our last part of our Flipping the Script segment, we do want to talk some Doctor Strange. So did you guys get a chance to see it yet?
I have not.
No, but that is an appropriate shirt, I must
Yes,
say.
I am wearing my Doctor Strange T-shirt tonight. Actually, Bill got me this for my birthday a couple weeks ago. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
mean, the trailer and the commercials look cool.
Oh, it's very.
I mean, when I saw Benedict Cumberbatch in costume, I'm like, man, he looks just like they didn't really alter the costume that much.
No.
Like, he was a spitting image of what you would picture Doctor Strange looking like. I just haven't gotten a chance to see it.
You know what? This is a more enthusiastic conversation because we're talking about DC and how depressing the movies are for so much. Marvel kicks some ass. Let me tell you, Marvel movies are just so fun to watch.
Well, like Civil War this year was one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had at the movies probably since Force Awakens.
I actually got to meet the directors during a screening.
Oh, really?
Really?
You got to meet the Russos?
Yeah.
Or is it Russos?
Russos. Yeah. I got
That's awesome.
I got an advanced screener up in New York for that a couple
That's
days
awesome.
early. Yeah, they were there. They did a Q&A before, a little bit before, and then like a 45-minute one after the show.
Yeah, because
really neat.
I saw them on, it might have been Screen Junkies. They were saying how their goal is to make their movies honest trailer proof.
Right.
and that's how they've been so good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and you can find a plot hole with all of them. But
sure.
the Marvel movies, it just, and this is the problem with DC versus Marvel. DC is trying so hard to catch up and be right where Marvel is, where Marvel's been very carefully cultivating this over time and building it, where they can do Ant-Man and Doctor Strange and still make solid movies out of them.
Well, Marvel has been. They took over when Sony ruined their line, I believe. I think it was Sony.
Sony had Spider-Man.
It was X-Men too. They had.
Yeah, they
no,
ruined it.
Fox had X-Men.
Right.
And Marvel decided they were going to just take the reins and make their own studio.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I think even Marvel offered DC, like we'll make your movies right if you just come on, like kind of like a relationship would be. And DC turned it down, and as you see where it's going with that.
Well, yeah, and once Disney bought Marvel, they had the capital to do it, and I'm surprised Disney has been so hands-off. Like, they creatively, with both Star Wars and that, they're like, just give us something that we can make toys and shirts out of, but have the freedom to make good movies, and they've been clearly doing it, and doing it well. So, I've heard Doctor Strange is very solid. I've heard good things about it. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's just, unfortunately, haven't gotten to.
It's probably one of the most enjoyable solo movies that Marvel has done to date.
Yeah, especially for an origin. What is that noise?
It's me.
Come on,
I just figured out a cool thing about the chair.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go this weekend and see it probably tomorrow. Maybe like catch a matinee.
It's very, very trippy. The visual. It's probably the most visually stunning movie, if not the best. One of the best that I have ever seen in a theater. About a month ago now, before it came out, Bill and I had got a 15-minute IMAX preview screener for it, and we talked about it on the show, and just the way that it looked, and just everything about it was screaming that this is a movie that you needed to go see, and then we saw it last Thursday. We always do the night before screenings, the Thursday night, and I absolutely loved it from the villains to the plot to the action, and it's with such a visual movie and like a magical mystical type of movie, like you wouldn't think that there'd be great fight action scenes, but they're doing the kung fu and shit. So it was just all enveloping, and it was just such a good portrayal of such a character that not a lot of people know about or could even like wrap their head around. What they're talking about, this mystical being from the dark dimension, blah 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 blah, hoary host of Hoggoth, but it was just absolutely crazy. And I think if you went to see that on acid or something, you might you might never come back from that trip. Bill, what did you think about Doctor Strange?
Well, I didn't have acid, but it was definitely a mind trip of a movie. It was like you said.
I would say it's like a cross between Inception and The Matrix. God bless you.
Bless you.
But it makes Inception look like it didn't know what it was doing with its visuals. It was that amazing. I don't know how you could even how you could think of the things that they did in that movie. Like, how do you construct that in your brain to actually put on film?
Acid.
There you go. Thanks, Steve Ditko.
Yeah. But yeah, it was one of those things that it just had a very encompassing storyline where for an origin movie that had to tie in so much at this point and set up so much, it did a great job at establishing a pivotal character that's going to be a main Avenger going forward.
Yeah.
And really set him up in a perfect way without having to add a complement of other characters either. Obviously they threw some B-level characters in there that just to get everything started, but they didn't have to really support him in a certain way.
You had a couple Avengers references here and there, but
Yeah.
you didn't see anybody else,
Right.
And they didn't really try to hook you in that way.
Yeah.
Which was really good. Like, I mean, Ant-Man was awesome, but you had Falcon in it.
Yeah.
And you had different things there.
And you had to have tie-ins with Hank Pym and
Right.
and all that stuff and Tony Stark references, and there was a lot to
Yeah,
rely on.
they even had Agent Carter in the prelude.
Yeah.
Right.
At the beginning.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So there was a lot to hinge upon with that movie there, and I think for that one too, they needed to reestablish who Ant-Man was with audiences, whereas Doctor Strange, you kind of always heard about him. You kind of just really needed to just show what his backdrop was.
Right. Something that interesting during the movie. Sorry, spoilers, guys. It's nothing major, but one part when he's in the car when he's driving.
Oh, you're referencing
the possible Easter eggs here.
There was the 35-year-old Air Force colonel who had his spine crushed. They obviously referencing
like looking at different things this week and last week as well. They were saying, is that Rhodey, who the Army colonel, or was it like somebody from Iron Man 2 who was like in one of the proto suits that Justin Hammer had? And just it's hard to get a time frame on when this movie actually takes place.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely after the first Avengers, so I think that second one, the Justin Hammer thing, is out of it because they show Avengers Tower right in the beginning of the movie. So obviously the Avengers are already established. It makes sense that it would be Rhodey, but I know the director Scott Derrickson came out and said that it wasn't. I don't take that with 100% confidence though. It could be Rhodey. Maybe the age doesn't quite fit. He's obviously older than 35. And then the second one, after he said the Army colonel, a woman who got struck by lightning with an implant in her brain. I'm hearing that could be Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a nice little subtle introduction to a possible future character that way. And the movies are always full of Easter eggs, different things. We found out that the Eye of Agamotto is actually a time stone, one of the Infinity Gems. So you pay close enough attention, you're going to see little things tie in here and there, which is always really fun.
Mm-hmm.
So we got through all of our stories that we wanted to go over, but we want to highlight our good friends here from Living in 8 Bits. I have their music right here. Check this shit out.
Yeah, anybody watching the video feed would love that.
So, Mikey, I'm going to turn it over to you first.
Sure.
Kind of, tell our listeners, who you guys are, what you guys are about, and where you drew your inspiration.
Who are these people?
So, we are our production company name is Mixed Nuts Productions.
Right.
Hi, Carmen.
I'm listening.
He's listening very intently. Our production company is Mixed Nuts Productions, and our sister company is Cinevore Studios. And we make movies. I mean, that's always been our thing. We've been making movies for many years, all kinds of different movies. We've had feature films and film festivals. We do primarily comedy, but we've done drama, we've done action, we've done all sorts of different kinds of projects. And
There's Joey.
about 5 or 6 years, actually, now it's going over 6 years ago, we had this idea, since there were so many people doing online video referencing video games. Angry Video Game Nerd was getting big.
Right,
James
yeah.
Rolfe. He was a good friend of ours. Doug Walker, the Nostalgia Critic. Pat the NES Pong. Retroware TV. Screw Attack. All these sites were getting really big with video game content. And we were just starting to dip our toe in the water with YouTube to begin with. So we decided, hey, why not try a show kind of based on video games?
Mm-hmm.
And so after doing it for about a year, sporadically, a year and a half, it started catching on, and we started getting invited to conventions and booths, and we getting invited on podcasts and so on and so forth. And it just kind of took a life of its own. So more people know us from our show name, Living in 8 Bits, than they do by Mixed Nuts Productions or Cinevore Studios. And recently we wrapped up after 50 episodes. We put out our DVD. And then the past year, we just did a spin-off show called Super Plumber Brothers.
Yeah,
which,
here we go. We got a couple of DVD copies right here. Thank you so much for that, by the way.
That's swag for you.
Swag. Maybe we'll give 1 or 2 copies away to some lucky fans.
Yeah.
Yahoo! So there you go. So I've been watching all your guys' videos over the last couple weeks since we had been exchanging emails about you guys coming in. And definitely my favorite skits that you guys do are the Super Plumber Brothers. Kind of walk us through, where you drew that idea from, and what's your favorite part of doing them?
All right, well that came from my head. It was a bunch of meetings that we had. I had the idea of having these guys come to a temp agency. And eventually, I wanted to do it almost as a spin-off with the other consistent characters we had going, but we wanted to at least get it going with the Plumber Brothers, who were the common reoccurring characters that everybody loved, and everybody knew who they were. And I had a meeting it was me, Mike, Joey, and Lauren. Lori. Listen to me, Lauren.
Lauren? Who's that?
Lauren. Who is Lauren? Lori.
Sorry, Lauren.
And we met at my house. We went over possible future ideas to the point where we came up with the core idea of the temp agency and where it would go. And then we met. It was me, Matt, Steph, Mike, Joey, met at my house where we began to brainstorm more fine the ideas of where the story would go and what their jobs would be. And these guys are the ones who wrote. I'm not a very good writer. I'm a good, idea creator, if you will.
Yeah, and Matt and Steph, who aren't here tonight, but they also did a lot of writing as well. And at that meeting, we kind of fleshed out the whole 6-episode arc of what this would be, and then we all kind of took turns on writing different scripts. So, Joey wrote the Party Planner episode, I wrote the Landscaper episode, Matt and Steph wrote the other episodes, and we just kind of volleyed the script writing back and forth. And it also helps because Matt portrays Luigi, Joey plays Mario, and we just kind of, after doing this for 5 years of these characters, we knew what they were and how to write for our kind of comedy. And also just being geeks, we played all these games, so we're big fans of these games. We still play these games, which, by the way, I really want an NES Classic, and they're impossible to get.
Yeah.
Even though I own all the games already, but I still want one. Anyway.
I was going to bring that up a little bit. We'll get back to
We'll go back to it, yeah.
We'll get back to that.
So we wrote all those, and then instead of doing how we did the previous Living in 8 Bits, where we would film an episode, put it out, film an episode, put it out, we filmed the entire series up front, almost the way you would film a feature film, and completed everything and then released it.
You're supposed to do it.
Yeah, actually, the way
how you actually are supposed to do these things, not just on a whim like how we do it.
But it's very important, I think, to note that we're filmmakers first and foremost. Right. We take what we do very seriously. Even though what we're putting out is very funny and light and fluffy, we do take our work very, very seriously. So check it out. I'm sure these guys have more to add than I do.
Carmen, take us through some of your most fun parts of doing these videos.
Well, I was more an actor in the Living in 8 Bits series, and I think Mike and Joey can attest to when I would show up on set. For starters, I never knew the script. Even to this day, I'm not very good at reading the script.
We filmed the sketch actually before we came here.
Is it just that you can't read?
No, it's Kid can't even read. Kid can't even read. No, I just show up and I know I'm going to know the lines as soon as we get there, but at the same time, a lot of the scenes that we do are improvised. Like when the first episode that we did with Commando and Jeff's character as the photographer. The whole thing, we had the script ready. In fact, I'm pretty sure I knew the lines to that day, and I threw it out the window. Oh, there's the pen.
Throw the pen out the window.
Carmen just threw a pen across the studio.
Let me just take another sip here.
Oh, my God.
And the script pretty much went out the window, and Jeff and I just improvised the entire episode to the point where, every scene, what would normally take about 2 hours to film, took about, 4 to 6 hours, or even longer. To the point, like Jeff and Mike's yelling, "Come on, guys, just go, just come on!" And we constantly add new lines. Like, oh, add this line in. Okay, got it. Add this line in. Got it. Yeah, let's add this line. And then we go back and forth. The script changes and so on and so forth. But that's mainly what I'm known for is the Commando episodes. I love every one of them. I like Ponder's episodes as the Mad Scientist. I think are a classic. I think his dry
the
humor,
Mega Man Wily Corp episodes.
They are his dry sense of humor comes across so perfectly. And that's where I stand. Anyway.
I like that Lucas episode with that.
Lucas.
Who was the guy who played him in that?
I don't know.
Episode?
It might have been a guy sitting at this table that doesn't get in front of the camera
I
that
know,
much anymore.
it was a nice surprise.
So yeah, like we have. I think the fun thing about this is we have such a catalog of stuff that every person you ask is going to give you a different answer of what their favorite episode is or what their favorite character is.
Right.
Like. For me, it's always whatever the most recent one is. So for me, it's the most recent Super Plumber Brothers episodes that I look upon the most fondly. So, yeah. I don't know. That was a quick, abrupt ending to a thought.
And done.
End scene.
Bill, what do you got?
Is there anything that you guys are working on right now? Anything like special characters or anything that we can look forward to?
Well, we just did something today. I don't know
Yeah,
if we're allowed to talk about it.
We just we just filmed a skit today. We're not going to reveal what it was.
Yeah, our news.
If any of our fans are listening, yes, we did film a skit earlier today. No, I mean right now we're working on we're exploring the idea of putting out a DVD for Super Plumber Brothers.
Okay.
We're kind of putting everything in motion, and the way we did the first DVD was through a Kickstarter campaign, which was a very rewarding campaign. So hoping maybe do something the same kind of way. And then right now I think we're just doing like a bunch of one-off skits and all that because it's tough. We're all older now. We all have jobs. We all have families and lives, and it's
people holding you back.
Yeah, it's every
white man holding you down.
Well, everything's a little different. I mean, 6 years ago, we didn't. I wasn't at my current job. A couple of us here weren't at our current job. Carmen's now married and has a kid. I mean, like we're all.
I got a 10-month-old who wants to eat regularly. And, he needs a diaper. I know, right? He wants to go to bed and take naps.
They
Come on,
they
man.
always need stuff.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So demanding.
We did a lot Monday. We did a lot of documentary filming Monday.
Yeah,
like
so
behind the
we're
scenes,
gonna do
commentary.
Probably a highlight of that first DVD is we did this massive, like 2+ hour behind the scenes documentary going into extreme detail how we produced the entire series. So we want to, and fans seem to really like it. So we're gonna do the same thing with Super Plumber Brothers. I mean, there's stories that people don't know about from behind the scenes because we've been very coy about what we've released. We haven't really put that much out other than the episodes themselves and maybe a couple outtakes and some behind the scenes photos. But there's a lot of behind the scenes stories that went into the production of it and how we made it and how we got to where we are.
I think we should do another top 10 list.
No,
that was very
yeah,
very successful response.
Yeah, we do top 10 lists all the time.
We did a couple of videos, the top 10 best and worst Mega Man weapons.
Okay.
And put the video out and thought not much of it. And they're arguably the most controversial videos and the most amount of effort and more effort than to produce an episode for us. So we're kind of like, I don't know if we're going to do that again because I'm tired of getting the I hope you die comments and go to hell.
YouTube trolls.
Yeah, exactly. Because apparently if you say that Metal Blade is the best weapon ever, you're a loser. Or if you don't think Gemini laser is an actually good weapon. I've had people our worst Mega Man weapon was Power Stone from Mega Man 5, and if anybody's familiar with it, it's an awful weapon, but everyone's defending, like people have been defending it. There's a couple other weapons, Hornet Chaser from like Mega Man 9. I don't know if you guys are Mega Man fans or not, but
I can't tell you the last time I played a Mega Man game.
But this one weapon, I thought it was the dumbest weapon, and we put it in our worst list, and people I feel like they want to crucify us. I mean, and we still get comments, at least 5 comments a week about how we should all die or something.
Yeah, especially after Carmen killed that tree. One time.
Oh, that tree. The tree's doing fine, by the way.
The tree is doing fine.
So you guys are big video game fans, I would take it then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll ask you
Specifically retro, but yes.
Okay.
Whoa,
So we'll get into.
I already plan on playing Destiny for the remainder of the night. Once
I
get
just
home.
got Battlefield 1 too, and
I play Smash Brothers.
So
I
we'll
play a
talk
lot
about
of that.
games in just a second, but I want to end a dispute here at the Toxic Radio station.
Mike's gonna turn his mic on here.
Yeah.
oh man.
Mike's gonna turn on the microphone.
Wait, is this thing on?
I don't know if we're gonna end a dispute, but we can.
Yeah,
we can
contribute to it.
continue.
We'll contribute.
Nothing's gonna get ended here.
So last show we got into a debate.
Nah, it was like
here.
2 shows ago.
2 shows ago. Well, it's
was
probably
our-
spanned 2 shows.
It was our
since
after
then.
show.
Yeah. So my fiance here, Sam, she's a big video gamer. She loves video games.
But
and
she
stuff
plays
like
the wrong console.
Which game?
So
Go ahead.
So Mike is pro Xbox.
Yes.
He is all about it. He's been talking about how I want an Xbox One. I gotta work more overtime.
Are they turning to iPhones now? You got Xbox One S. I'm like, what the fuck is that guy?
Well, the way the marketing plan behind that was to go against PlayStation 4, and if it's an Xbox One.
Oh God, don't care.
All right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go down the line and ask each one of you individually, Xbox or PlayStation. Just simple one
I know
word,
his answer
simple
already.
one-word answer. Joey, we're going to start with you. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Oh, I'm turning off his microphone.
Carmen, Xbox or PlayStation?
I will say I used to be Xbox.
Oh,
I used to be. But I'm a PS4 guy now.
Oh,
Mikey, Xbox or PlayStation?
I don't own either.
Oh,
I'm a Nintendo guy through and through. So I have a Wii U and a 3DS. I'll probably get an NES Classic when I can and a Switch, but
No, you know what it is? PlayStation, I think, has a lot of JRPGs, which I'm a big fan of. So you can't really get them on you can't really get them on Xbox.
No, you can't.
So I just find the library for PS4. I'm not a hardware junkie like, oh, the graphics are so much better. I don't care about that. I'm all about the software. So I just think the library is a little more on my style these days. Although I do love Gears of War 4, and I wish I could, or Gears of War rather. I wish I could play Gears of War 4.
Keep it in your pants over there.
But I do not have an Xbox. But that is a game. If I would buy a console just for one game, I probably would get it just for that.
Well, people were buying the PS4s or the PlayStations for the show.
Yeah, that's why I got it.
Xbox has yet to compete with the show at all.
And that's a great game.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who traded in their Xboxes when the show was coming out for PS3s at the time.
Get out of here with that 2K shit.
Yeah,
they don't even make 2K baseball games anymore.
No.
That's how bad they were.
The show is just it's on point as far as baseball games go.
Yeah, it's the most realistic. It gives you all real scenarios as far as
What do they have for Xbox? RBI? Like
nobody wants to watch baseball, let alone play it.
You can actually take HGH on the new the show game. I think.
Yeah, you can actually inject
in the
your
locker
players.
room.
It's bases loaded.
Bases loaded.
Bases loaded 93.
Did they? Oh, super bases loaded.
Yeah,
Remember
super
that one?
I'll continue to play the bigs on my Xbox 360.
Bigs.
That's a good
Oh
game
man,
now.
the bigs.
I play World
what are you
Series
gonna
baseball on the
hit
Sega
hit
Genesis.
the movie marquee sign out in the parking lot?
Yes, over and over again.
Yeah.
I'll be playing that tonight.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr. Major.
Oh, yeah, Super Nintendo.
Yes.
Yeah, I
That's
still
a
got
great
that.
game.
I heard a rumor that they're trying to have Destiny cross format or cross play. So people
I
want
thought you were going to
Xbox.
say with Ken Griffey Jr. Baby.
I had Ken.
I
Griffey
call
Jr.
Frank
baseball.
Thomas.
They've discussed that forever, and everybody always wants it, but it's never going to happen. Because
if Nintendo will license out Legend of Zelda to Dynasty Warriors and do Hyrule Warriors, anything is possible.
I saw a video the other day of Legend of Zelda on an Unreal Engine.
I've seen
It
those.
was insane.
I've seen those. That is awesome.
Well, hey, if Spider-Man can join the MCU, anything's
What was that
Spider-Man.
they were remaking? I think Knights of the Old Republic was getting like this awesome.
Oh, those games are so good.
remake. Graphically, it was like
I
think it was like an open
admittedly-
source thing. It
I
was,
feel
like,
bad. I have
incredible
not
looking.
played a new Star Wars game since like Rebel Assault.
Oh man,
on the
dude, I
PC.
played Battlefront.
Battlefront, yeah, I love
Battlefront. I
Battlefront.
played for a
It's
while.
so boring though. There's
It's
I
repetitive.
can't get into games that don't have story mode.
Right.
It's just
repetitive.
multiplayer.
Well,
like, all right, this is fun for about 10 minutes.
Right.
Well,
Well-
what can I do now?
I'm glad we could decide that Xbox wins. Thank you.
I think it's been settled.
All right. I wanted to ask you guys one more thing. Mikey, I was looking at your Twitter page earlier, and I noticed you were having some trouble with the new NES Classic console.
Yes, the NES Classic.
Yeah.
I had trouble yesterday too.
So I'm a big Nintendo fan. I mean, I don't think I've made that's pretty
Wait,
clear.
you like Nintendo?
Yeah, exactly.
You actually like it?
I
took you for a Neo Geo kind of.
I have. You never know. Yeah, like, and I have an NES, and I have a pretty expansive NES collection. I actually own all the games already that are on this NES Classic, but I like the idea of having like this mini one with like a core library that I could just take on the go or have in
Plug and
another
play.
room, or it's a nice plug and play. And I had this old plug and play Atari system, which was an Atari joystick, and I had like 15 Atari games.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, like, so I like these plug and play machines, and I'm glad that Nintendo's getting into it. But the problem is, they did this with the Wii. They did this with the Amiibos. They have done this with like limited edition 3DSs, where they don't make enough stock and send it out to the retailers. So unless you camped out at like 5:30 a.m. yesterday morning, you did not get an NES Classic. So like Target near me got 5 or 6 consoles.
Yeah, I called the one by me. They got 3.
Yeah, and they're seriously understocking them. And then what's happening is you get these people who do not have lives or jobs and going in and lining up and getting them.
Mom, I'm going to Best Buy.
But what they're doing is they're flipping it now on eBay.
Yeah.
So you can, like, they're charging
$200, $1,000.
Yeah, they're charging more than what it costs to get the original console and those games
Right.
in box.
Yeah.
Why don't you just download an emulator and then just
There's
some
just
ROMs
some.
and play
It's
them?
the principle, Joey.
Okay. I
It's
mean,
the principle.
I could go on
Well,
my,
one is-
my Android
one
right
is
now and
legal.
download
Here we got prices on.
NES.
Here's eBay. All right, thank you, eBay.
One is legal, one is not. I actually saw one listed for like $15,000 for an NES Classic at one point, and it's ridiculous. And yeah, it's geared. It's geared towards casual people. It's geared towards fans, collectors, and all that. But they don't make enough stock. And then Nintendo says, "Oh well, we didn't anticipate demand." They announced
$49,000.
$60,000.
We'll hand deliver.
I'm not going to college. I'm getting an NES Classic.
Yo, Mike, can you message one of these?
That's what he wants to do, honey.
Mike, can you message one of these people and just ask them?
Can we get a federal loan for that?
Can you put that back up? That actually did say will hand deliver.
right there for $60,000. You better be crawling.
24 hours.
He will fly it to you the same day. The same day.
For $50,000.
Like, message them and be like, will you take a hand job upon delivery? you better ask for a payment.
Shit.
You better hook that thing up in my car.
But that's what's ridiculous about it, because the people who bought all these are people who just do that. They flip it. So like people like
Donald
us,
Trump has files.
like I
Side note, I don't make that much in a year, and they're selling that for $50,000.
yeah, like
It's ridiculous.
I don't know. I had to work late Thursday night, so I could not wake up early. So I went to 4 different stores Friday morning about 9:30, and that's how it's just going into the store. It should be easy to just walk in, and they said we sold out hours ago, and then Amazon's like, oh, we're gonna put it online at 5 p.m. yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I have Prime. I was sitting there waiting for like an hour or so, and as soon as 5 hit, I hit refresh. The entire site crashed, and then at one point. It's like, oh, put it in your cart. I put it in my cart. Then it's like, there are no items in your cart. And then you try to refresh, and then it crashes again. And then, and it's because Nintendo's just shortchanging it. They knew what the demand was.
Right.
In July, when you announced it, any intern that they have in their marketing department can look and be like, hey, this is going to be a big ticket item. We should probably supply more than 3 at a major retailer.
Yeah, that makes some sense.
And they didn't even put up pre-orders. They could get the numbers by just doing pre-orders.
Yeah.
But they do this because it creates buzz. It makes demand. But I don't think they realize how much is ticking off their fans.
Right.
So I'm kind of ticked. But so I've just been playing my old NES the past couple days, which is totally fine. But I think also part of the problem is if you're not playing an old NES or these consoles on a CRT TV,
right?
You're not.
It looks like garbage.
Yeah, you're not seeing it the right way because it's not. CRTs are scan refresh rates.
Yeah.
And LCD HD TVs don't do that. Where this console is actually designed to make it work on the HD TV, and you can also simulate a CRT TV.
Well, it has an HDMI cord too. That
Exactly.
Comes with it, yeah.
So you're not getting lag, you're not getting a delay, and you're getting a simulation that makes it look the way that it was originally designed.
Do you use an old CRT TV?
I do have one.
Yeah.
But because I only have really one TV for all my games, I have the HD one hooked up for my Wii U.
Okay.
And I had the rest of my consoles going in through a RCA switcher. So it looks okay. It looks decent.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look the way it does on the old CRTs.
Because we have just about every console. We even have the Retron 5.
Oh, yeah.
You know, for convenience purposes.
I have that one too.
She currently has the PS2 hooked up in the bedroom because, you know, just because. So
that's nice.
But,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, I enjoy hooking up the 64.
I've got the Virtual Boy in the bathroom.
Ah, there we go. That's great.
Hey, I got Pokemon.
I want to play some tennis.
What are you leaning on then while you're in there?
You gotta duct tape it to your head.
Wait, do you sit on the toilet reverse then? But yeah, there we go.
There it is.
I remember playing that at Funko
There
Land.
he is.
I remember playing it
I
at
miss
Sears.
There's
I
Rolf
miss Funko.
right there.
I remember playing it at a Blockbuster.
Rest in
But the thing is that I
man, I love
noticed
Funko Land.
the thing that I noticed playing these old games that I once enjoyed was they don't look great on a HD TV on a current.
It looks
can't
like
play- you can't
it looks
play
like
light
they're
gun
like
games.
8-bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't play Duck Hunt or
Right.
Gumshoe or any of those old games that use the light gun because, again, it's based on the refresh rate.
Right.
So I do have a big, giant CRT TV that I hope to hook up and make this whole grand console area, but it's just time and money at the moment.
Yeah.
But the NES Classic, it's a nice, cool little piece of hardware that is for casual people, for collectors, and there's so much cool that can come out of this. And they made it so difficult for people to get that it's infuriating.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was pretty frustrated yesterday.
Yeah, I was
with it.
going to pick up one for my boss as a gift. It was his birthday, and there was a Best Buy about a half mile down the road from my work, and was like, they open at 10 o'clock. Go down there. I get there around by 10:30. I walk in. I'm like, hey, where are the Nintendo Classics? We're all sold out. I'm like, well, what happened? They're like, oh, we had a line here at like 9 o'clock in the morning. We only got like 25 of them. We handed out coupons, to people in line, and then when we opened, they were able to get them and check out. And it, just calling around, like you said, everybody was shortchanged with the amounts, and it seemed like, Best Buy, Toys R Us, GameStop, they were a lot at the most. Places like Target and Walmart, barely got, anything to call a shipment. And, it's really an understatement of execution, really. Something like this, it demands, the demands are already there. So like you said, when it's been published since July, you kind of can gauge what the excitement level is and where the interest is. Be prepared for it, especially right now. So what's going to happen? Are you going to be able to pre-order? Are you going to be able to, make an order prior to Christmas at this point? Like, are we?
They're going to give you an IOU.
Yeah. That's as good as cash.
You
That's
mean one
an
of those
IOU.
old sweatshirts? Those are awesome.
It's gonna be like one of the when Star Wars did the Kenner box thing because they weren't able to make all the Star Wars toys in 1977.
Yeah.
So what you did was you bought a cardboard box that had placeholders for where the toys would come the next like June or July when they were done.
Just imagine your toys are here.
Yeah, so it's like you'll get a cardboard NES. Is like here, just this. Now you can figure out where you're going to put your classic.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, how do you feel also that the Nintendo Classic isn't including wireless controllers?
Yeah,
for all that it's being upgraded to, and being with the refresh rate, with the HDMI cable.
Hey, the Retron controllers suck.
They do.
They're awful.
Which I prefer.
But you can put the
Wire-
originals
Yeah,
in
you
there,
can-
right?
yeah. So I mean, for a system like that, I'd rather have the hardwired ones.
But Retron was also not made by the manufacturer, so they kind of just are
But
throwing.
still, if you're
like-
gonna make a product like that, you might as well make it like fully functional.
Well, that's why they give you the option to be able to plug and play.
Yeah, this is at least.
Hey,
made
we can't do it right, so you can use the other stuff.
This is at least made directly by Nintendo.
It was like the
I'm
old,
not. I'm not as hung up on it. I've heard people complain that the length of the cable is too short. But that to me is kind of a minor gripe.
Well, you're supposed to sit on the floor to play it anyway.
I think what I'm more
to
disappointed
get the old feel when you
Yeah.
were 6, 7, 8.
That's
you're
why
sitting on the
you
floor.
can't sit there for so long. You got to go outside and play for a little bit too.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm more disappointed by is the fact that they didn't make it so that it can be updated in the future.
Yeah.
Like that would be cool. Like every year, if you pay another $10, $20, you get 30 more games.
Yeah.
Or that you can keep upgrading it. But I think they were worried that people were going to hack the system and put
Or
ROMs on
or if you
there.
just paid more for a larger library,
Yeah.
Or if it was cartridge based, like maybe you can just like insert different cartridges that have the storage on there or something,
And there are some gripes with the library that they put on there. Like they put Super C instead of Contra. They put regular Tecmo Bowl instead of Super Tecmo Bowl or Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's just it's such a cool concept of a little toy for this holiday season coming up, and they're making it impossible to get. So, and I think what's just making it more frustrating to see on eBay how people are trying to flip it. And if anybody, and I'm just saying this right now, if anybody's listening, do not pay a scalper because one, it empowers them to. They will come out again eventually.
Please don't pay $60,000 to buy this.
Exactly. Like
We'll hand deliver.
Yeah, I'll hand deliver you.
Yeah,
too.
that's incredible.
Like I saw when the Amiibo thing happened, like people were paying like $150, $200 for a Marth Amiibo. And I went to Best Buy maybe 2 weeks ago, and there was just racks of Marth Amiibos because they finally met up with the demand.
Yeah.
And just be patient. They will come out. It's frustrating. Just be patient.
All right. Well, I think we've gotten our video game fix. A nice little added dimension to our usual.
Mike's still
topics
heated
here.
back there. He's like antsy.
That's
like,
because he
moving
knows he
everything.
lost this debate.
Wait, I did?
Yeah,
I think I was the winner.
I mean, we got two more PlayStations on top of the 3 we already had.
Haters gonna hate.
You're down 5-1.
Haters gonna hate. Haters because they anus.
That's
I don't
right.
know. I was
Wait, they hate us.
I'll
'cause
put my
they
Commodore
anus?
64
Yeah, they hate us
up
because they
against.
anus.
Hate us because they anus.
All right. Well, we are gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Wait, why do we
tonight.
gotta get out of here?
Well, because we have to pay like per hour.
I got a concert.
And
to
we're
go
already
to.
overtime. Yeah, you're going to Skid Row tonight,
Going to
right?
Skid Row. Yeah.
Oh, wow, cool. Have fun.
Jetting down to AC.
Yeah.
We are the youth gone wild.
All right. You guys can find us online at The Cinescape on Facebook, Cinescape Cast on Twitter, The Cinescape on Instagram. You can also find us on our YouTube channel. We also have a new dimension to add.
A new dimension?
Yeah.
We
a
discovered
dark dimension.
A dark dimension was discovered.
All we got to do is go through that portal
That's
behind
right.
you.
We recently created a Patreon page to help fund our show. Like I just said, we do pay for the show out of our own pockets and the kindness of our hearts to bring you, the listeners and watchers, entertainment every other Saturday. So we need your help to help us fund our show. Anything that you guys can contribute would be, absolutely welcomed. We'll have some nice little giveaways and things to, help you guys out as well. So just check out our Patreon page. Pledge us $1, pledge us $3, whatever you can afford. It will certainly go a long way. And be sure to, share our stuff, tag people in our posts, get our name out there. We also want to thank the guys from Mixed Nuts Productions for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Joey, you guys
Thank
were
you.
certainly incredible. We look.
You're too
We look
kind.
forward to having you guys.
Phenomenal
again.
guests.
I love this.
making this all great again.
Oh, we were a pleasure to be here.
I love this sound.
We make it so good. It's gonna be
Ask
so
anyone.
great.
It was Bigly.
It was bigly.
Yeah,
it was
very
just
bigly.
everything about this is great. All right, you guys, we got the best people surrounded on here.
Great people.
The best.
Great.
It's the
We
best.
are the most humble people that you're ever gonna meet.
The humblest.
Okay.
I love this sound right here.
There you go. Sound of
We're
vines.
Yeah, you better finish that beer, pal.
We're
If
now
you're not
acting
watching us on
obnoxious.
TV,
You're gonna be too sober when you go home to your kid.
My kid's already passed out. My wife just texted me. She goes, "He's asleep in his jeans and sweater."
Be like, all right, honey, it's nutty time.
That's my son.
Like, honey, are you ready for 8 bits? Maybe some mixed nuts. All right, honey, stop with the business jokes.
The second kid is coming.
All right, well, for myself, Sean Harrigan, and Bill Tozzi, we just want to thank you one more time. Check us out again in 2 weeks. We will be back with some other great show
Thanksgiving
content for you
show
guys.
at that
Yeah,
point.
we're going to be stuffed like turkeys for that show.
It'll be a cornucopia of,
I like that.
of delightful
I like that.
topics.
Yes. All right, thank you guys so much for checking us out tonight, and have a good one. We will see you
too.
next time.